Good morning. Driving the F-150 Ford Lightning this morning, a union-built truck made in the U.S., was a great way to start the day. And we're excited to debut St. Louis County's first electric vehicle and to roll out our 5-year electric vehicle plan. St. Louis County is committed to creating a brighter, safer, and greener future. And my administration is always looking for opportunities to take the leading role in empowering environmental stewardship and reducing greenhouse gases. I'm joined by Stephanie Leon Streeter, our Acting Director of Transportation, Mandy LeBrier, our Director of Sustainability, and Craig Boyles, our Manager of Fleet and Garage Operations. Leading automakers have set a goal of 40 or 50% of new vehicles to be electric powered by 2030. And President Joe Biden has set even a loftier goal, 50% of new vehicles to be electric powered by 2030. And the U.S. will achieve net zero emissions economy-wide no later than 2050. It's clear that vehicle production is moving to electric. And St. Louis County government is preparing to do our part by electrifying our vehicle fleet and reducing the county's carbon footprint. And that's why today I'm proud to announce that St. Louis County plans to convert 27% of our light-duty vehicle fleet to electric vehicles by 2027. And this will include electric vehicles, plug-in hybrid vehicles, and hybrid electric vehicles. The EV plan targets all our light-duty fleet, and these are the vehicles most used by county employees for county businesses, and they make up the majority of the electric vehicle market today. St. Louis County operates just over 1,400 vehicles, and 1,000 of those are light-duty vehicles. That includes vans, sedans, pickup trucks, crossovers, and SUVs. This year, the Department of Transportation and Public Works has launched the new light-duty fleet EV Purchase Priority Program, which will lay out how we'll replace our fleet of fossil fuel vehicles with clean and efficient electric vehicles in the coming years. The department maintains a vehicle replacement criteria for light-duty vehicles, which is meeting or exceeding 12 years of age or having 160,000 miles for non-police vehicles. The new F-150 Lightning costs $47,000, and that's a slight increase over the comparable cost of a traditional gasoline engine, but that cost will be balanced by the decreased fuel and maintenance costs. The county generally spends about $79,000 to buy and to operate and maintain a gas-powered F-150 truck throughout its lifetime. Looking at fuel prices alone, St. Louis County will save nearly $10,000 per electric vehicle each over its 5-year lifetime. That's comparable to a traditional F-150 with a V8 engine. Research also shows that electric vehicles are 40% less expensive to maintain than internal combustion vehicles. To support the growing EVs over the next 5 years and beyond, the Division of Facilities Management will continue to evaluate and implement charging infrastructure solutions in the county. And this Ford Lightning will be housed with the rest of our vehicle pool in Clayton. Today's announcement is an exciting start to a brighter and greener future for St. Louis County. Climate change is real, and we're going to do our part to protect our future for our children and for our grandchildren. Making the purchase of an EV a priority is one way to be responsible stewards of the planet. And I'm happy to take any questions.
You alluded to it there. What do you see as important about switching to EVs to more traditional gas-powered vehicles? Or is it just the trend? It's expensive. What do you see as significant?
So the question is, what is significant about this change? First of all, it provides significant cost savings for the county to convert our fleet to electric vehicles over time. For example, an F-150 electric vehicle costs us $10,000 less to maintain over its lifetime. So the efficiency and the cost of providing the services that we get through our fleet of vehicles is a significant savings to the county. But just as important is our efforts to reduce greenhouse emissions in our country. And we know the climate change is real, and we're going to do our part in St. Louis County to try and decrease our carbon footprint.
Is it setting the right example? Is that how you're referring to this is the way of the future?
Well, this is the right thing to do, first of all. It's the right thing to do from a policy perspective to move away from carbon emissions. But this is also a significant cost savings to the county. This will save our taxpayers money.
Dr. Major, earlier this week there was a proposal for some budget cuts to include the electric charging stations. That wasn't long before this announcement. So can you explain that?
Oh, so the question is the council's budget cuts, proposed budget cuts for the charging stations. That's one of their proposals. There's a lot of proposals in front of the council now, and they'll work through those over the coming weeks, and they'll decide whether or not they want to keep some of those charging stations or to take them out and think about putting them in next year. We certainly have the charging infrastructure in place for this vehicle, but we'll want to make sure that we can match our charging infrastructure for our vehicle purchases, and we'll be talking to the council about that.
Where does the funding for this come from? Is it just replacing cars that go out, or what?
Yeah, the question is where the funding comes from for our fleet, and this is just part of our normal county operations. Our budget includes turnover and purchase of new fleet vehicles for county operations, and instead of buying a new traditional combustion engine pickup, we bought an electric vehicle, and we've got a plan to convert our light duty fleet to at least 20% of that fleet to electric vehicles by 2027. And that'll bring significant cost savings to the county over time.
Is there plans to then go beyond the 27%?
Oh, we'll see where we go. That's a few years from now, but if this continues to demonstrate the efficiency and cost savings that we expect, then it would be prudent to convert our entire fleet to electric or hybrid vehicles. But we just have to wait and see how it goes. We're all learning about this too. But we expect it to save us money, and if it saves us the money as we expect, then I expect us to continue to purchase more electric vehicles.
Just on the budget issue, the county council talking about a lot of stuff to try and fill that $41 million hole on the budget that you sent over to them after talking to the lawmakers. What's your take on the proposal out there? Are they concerning to you, or some of them valid? Where do you think you go from here to try and close that gap?
Well, the question is about the county's proposed cuts. What they're proposed cutting is the flexibility in budgeting for open positions that probably won't be filled during the year. And traditionally, we've had that flexibility. And their proposal is to cut some of that back. We haven't seen any proposals yet to significantly close the gap, the structural gap between the expected end-of-year spend and our revenues. Over the next couple of years, we're going to have to come up with a plan to close that back, that gap. Right now, we have plenty of money in our reserves to continue providing the county services that people have come to expect. But over the next couple of years, we're going to have to make some tough decisions about which services we continue to provide, or whether or not we're going to look for new revenues.
Do you support the cuts, or are the country pulling that money out of reserves to fund the budget?
Well, the cuts don't. The cuts that have been proposed won't affect the reserves over time, because at the end of the year, the spend will still be the same. The gap that they're talking about closing is not the structural gap between the end of year spend and the revenues. It's the flexibility in the budget in hiring, and that's by budgeting for open positions that probably won't be filled during the year. And they're talking about cutting that back.
Big picture, do you agree with
I think it's something we need to talk about. It will limit the flexibility of the departments over the years, but it will also give them the opportunity to look very closely at what positions they really need. Oh, so the question about the RAM settlement money, you know, we haven't received it yet, but we do have an agreement on how to divide it. We expect that to come in January, and then we'll sit down with the council and talk about how much of this we want to put in a rainy day fund or a savings or an endowment, and if we want to put any of it to work in the county. But that's a conversation we'll have. We'll have the conversation with folks in the county, with other stakeholders, and in the county council.
Dr. Page, we also have a Rams question from Public Radio. What do you think about the proposed settlement? And what would you say to the RSA members who want to place the money in a fund for regional initiatives?
Okay, so the question is, again, it's about the RAM settlement and the proposed regional endowment. And I will listen to all the ideas that come forward, whether or not we put all or some of the money into a regional endowment, whether or not we put it into an endowment, put the St. Louis County portion into an endowment that goes to work for people in St. Louis County, or whether we divide it up into different pieces. We're going to talk about all of that. I appreciate the RSA suggestions. There's a lot of people who have a lot of suggestions, and we have plenty of time to talk about it. Oh, so the question about city-county merger. I think the only pathway forward would be that there's consensus for even having a conversation right now is for the city to come into the county as another municipality, but maintain its city function, support, and traditional leadership. We're a long way away from that. We'll continue to talk to folks that are interested, but that's a process that takes a long time. It'd have to be approved by the voters in the city and in the county, and I'll be glad to have that conversation. The city has some elections coming up, and they need to get through that, and then we'll sit down and talk with their leadership about what a greater and more cooperative working relationship would look like. In the meantime, we're going to continue to work with the city on everything that we can: economic development, public safety, public health, like we have been over the past couple of years. We've dramatically increased our working relationships and our collaboration and cooperation with St. Louis City over the past couple of years.
Dr. Page, on the budget committee, they're talking about eliminating those 101 vacancies in the police department. Concern about not filling law enforcement positions on that part?
Well, we'd like to have more police officers. Everybody in our community, in every jurisdiction, would like to have more police officers. So we have to, we have to make sure that we have enough vacancies that we can continue to hire in anticipation of retirement. So we need to make sure that we have enough vacancies that we can put folks into the police academy. So I think there's some details to work out in all departments, not just police, about what's the right number of open positions to roll back. Because some of that is hiring flexibility that we need in order to hire folks to be prepared for people that are retiring. And we just have to make sure that we think that through. And that's why I've asked all the department directors to come back and tell me what they could live with in reducing some of those open positions that wouldn't impact their ability to hire new people as people are retiring, so they could continue to provide the same amount of service that people in St. Louis County have become used to.
How challenging is it going to be to come to a deal on these budget issues between you and the council?
Oh, I think, well, the question is, can we work out a deal on the budget? I'm sure we can. I mean, these are very difficult decisions that every government at every level goes through every year. Budget decisions are difficult, and we're going to work through it. The council made a good decision to lay out some of their ideas in November, and that gives us a couple of weeks to talk through this in a very thoughtful way and figure out what we can. We know that we've got a couple of years to work through this, We've got some time. We will address what we can in the next couple of weeks, and we'll spend the next year taking a deep dive into the budget and having some difficult conversations. Okay, thank you.